All right, what's going on? My friend William James here, and in this video I want to talk to you about how you can actually start making a full-time income from barely any leads. So even if you're only getting, one or two leads a day in your business, you can actually start to make a pretty good living, with a tiny list and a very small number of leads coming in. So if you're new to the channel, again, my name is William James. I do videos for network marketers, affiliate marketers, online coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, people who are wanting to start and grow a business from home on the internet. And I specialize in free Facebook traffic strategies, lead generation, and sales strategies just using free Facebook traffic. So I actually have a whole group where I teach my strategies for Facebook marketing. If you're not in the group, there'll be a link in the description of this video where you can join the group. And of course, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and please consider subscribing to the channel. So with that said, guys, let's hop right into it. How you can actually start making a full-time income from barely any leads. So, when you're first starting out, certainly this was true for me, and 90% of the people who are trying to do a home business online, this is their problem. It is all about how to get leads, right? It's like people are very stuck up on this idea of like traffic. Like they're hung up on how do I get eyeballs, how do I get leads? And so, oftentimes there's just a couple coming in, right? You just don't have a lot of leads. So many people make the mistake of thinking that you have to have like hundreds of leads a day pouring into your autoresponder. You have to have a list of thousands of people and everything to make a full-time living, and you just don't, right? At the time of me recording this video, my list is like really small. Like it's under 2,000 people in my email autoresponder. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but it's like 1,000 something, okay? And obviously some of those, there have been people who have been on my list who I've gotten rid of because I cleaned my list, but that's a topic for another video. But point is, I was making good money, with 500-600 leads on my list. I was making good money, before I even had a list, but that's another matter. So, the thing is, you have to understand like what a lead actually is. And so many people have been sold this idea of like the automated income machine online. Like that's the point of working online, is to have this like completely automated machine that does everything for you, and you don't have to, like, all you do is run traffic, and then there's this whole process that's taken over. And so what I did, and what I think a lot of people do, is they get an email autoresponder or something, and they put in 10 emails that they're loaded in there, and it's like sales pitch, sales pitch, sales pitch, maybe some value here and there, sales pitch, sales pitch. And they're wondering like, okay, so now I just have to get people to subscribe, get them to see my video, they'll get the emails, and this is the internet machine. This is like what everyone's talking about, the funnel and the email follow-ups, and I've put it all together and I finally figured it out. And then so they go out and they like run a bunch of solo ads or Facebook ads or something, and they spend all this money and they get a bunch of leads. And maybe they get 100 leads or 200 leads or 1,000 leads, I don't know, and nobody buys anything. Right? Typically, you can't afford thousands and thousands of leads. So typically, what people do is they want to dip a toe in the water. So either they're going to be doing free strategies, or they're going to try to go get, a cheap solo ad and get a couple of hundred clicks and see what happens. And nothing is going to happen, basically. So people are like, what happens? Why is this happening? How come nobody's buying? And it's the same thing with free strategies. If you're going out on Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is that you've got going on, Instagram, and you got a couple of leads coming in from whatever you're posting, or maybe you got your link in your bio on Facebook, or you post it on your wall, whatever, and there's a couple leads coming in, but they're not, like hardly anybody is opening your emails and nobody's buying. So what do? How can you actually convert a significant percentage of these people? And the answer is to contact them and get them off of Facebook. Even if look, contacting somebody manually on Facebook and just sending them a message is better than just having them in your autoresponder. But even better than that is actually getting them off Facebook and having a conversation. Now, I know some people are going to be like, I don't want to do this. But believe me, even if you're running paid traffic, for a while, guys, I did experiment with some paid traffic. And I don't like it. But the only way that you can make paid traffic work, basically, is by putting a phone number form on your capture page and reaching out to these people by text or phone call, right? People have this idea that like a lead comes in and then it's the job of the machine to convert them. And I mean, that works if you have like thousands and thousands of leads coming in and a really good offer, I mean, Russell Brunson can do that. But for most people, they're bringing in a few leads, but they're doing nothing with them, right? So these are human beings, and you can talk to them. And I cannot overstate how important, like how much of a difference it can make to just actually connect with these people. So what I used to do is I would run solo ads sometimes, and I would have an email and I would have a phone number slot on the capture form that I was using. So I'd get their phone numbers. And instead of just letting my email system drip emails on them, I would text everybody. And I'd set up a Google Voice account. And I would just copy and paste their phone numbers one by one into my Google Voice account and just literally just send out a text message that would say, "Hey, Bob, it's William James. You put your information into a page of mine the other day. I just wanted to let you know that this is not an automated message. I'm actually manually texting you right now because I just wanted to say hi and let you know I'm a real person. And if you have any questions about what you saw in the video, let me know. You can text me or call me anytime." Something like that, right? And a fair number of these people would actually respond to me. These are people I'd never met before. This was cold traffic, right? And I would get a number of people that would respond, and I'd have a conversation, and I would even hop on the phone with some of them. Some of them would, really wanted to talk. And I've closed sales that way, right? Simply because people are not used to that. People, especially folks who are out there putting their names into email capture forms all the time. These are the people that you're getting when you're buying solo ads. They're, they're used to getting a million emails a day, and they're never used to anybody talking to them, right? And it's a little bit different on Facebook because it's a little bit more about networking. But the same principle applies on Facebook. Point is, people really appreciate a human connection. And that will go a really long way towards them eventually buying something from you. Because, guys, it really all depends on like how real are you to the person, right? Everyone gets a million emails a day from marketers, and they're just not real because they don't even know who half these people are, right? So your first task is to just impress upon the person that you're real and that they can communicate with you. You're not just some faceless robot who's sending them emails. So when I'm doing this on Facebook, the key with this, because we're already in a conversation, so it's so much easier. We're talking back and forth. They can see my profile. I can see their profile. We know that it's a real person, right? The best thing that you can do is if somebody has gotten onto your list, if somebody has become a lead, joined your group, whatever, it doesn't matter, is to connect with them, and as soon as you can, get them on the phone and off of Facebook. And I know people are like scared of that, but it's so powerful. And a nice transition from getting them, from a text conversation to a phone conversation is to use the voice recorder feature. So, on your phone and Facebook Messenger, you can hit that little, where is it? You can hit the little microphone icon, and record a voice message. And they're a minute long, and you can say, "Hey, how's it going? It's William James here, and blah, 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 blah." And you can have a conversation with the person back and forth. So it's personal, right? And I cannot tell you, the conversion percentages that I get on different offers when I talk to people are just so much higher, right? And my email open rates are so much higher than most people's in this industry. I mean, I get like a 25% email open rate, which means every time I send out an email, like 25% of them open. Guys, most of the time it's like 5%, if that, right? Most people's email click-through rates are like less than 1%, the people that actually click at the link in the email. Mine are like 10%. So the point of that is simply that people will respond to you across time way better if they've had a conversation with you, because a lot of the people who are on my list, most of the people who are on my list have had a conversation with me at some point. And so they remember who I am, right? So when they get an email from me, they're going to open it, they're going to read it. And they're much more likely to buy something. So especially when you're new, guys, and you're starting out and you're not getting that many leads, and you don't need that many leads to make an income with this, right? People have this idea you need hundreds of leads. You don't. A couple of leads a day, you can make a full-time income if you're reaching out to them and making yourself real to them and having a conversation. And if you possibly can, get them on the phone. So what do you say to them on the phone? I don't like pitch people on the phone. I don't have it's not like a sales call. I'll literally just have a quick conversation with them, right? Only if they want to. But I try to get people to have a conversation with me. And basically, I'm just listening to them. I want to know what their problems are, what they're struggling with, where their goals are, where they're going. Same as everything, right? I'm trying to listen to the other person and what they want and need. And I find that if I do that, and I just listen to them, then they're like so much more interested in doing business with me. It's beyond belief, because a lot of the time, I'm like the only one that's ever done that. And people will be like, hey, I've been doing marketing for 8 years and no one's ever talked to me before. Which is ridiculous, right? I get that all the time. Like, wow, you're just so real and genuine. Like, no one ever actually reaches out and talks to me. It's all just automated, right? So unless you have some kind of really amazingly high converting, professionally tweaked funnel and tons of traffic coming in, and a professional Facebook ads person who can run traffic for you that's affordable and whatever, and you've got this machine that's cranking out commissions, most people are not going to ever have that. So if you're like most people and you're working day in and day out just to get a few leads, that's okay. You got to reach out to these people, right? Don't just bring them in and then you think, okay, now that they're on my autoresponder, that my job is done. No, your job is just starting. Because if you add someone to your autoresponder but you never talk to them, they're not going to open your emails because they forgot who you are. Okay? Right? I'm on so many lists. I get emails all the time. There's only 3 people that I get emails from who I even have any memory of who that person is. So I never open them. Right? And that's true of everybody. Some people are getting hundreds of emails a day. And they don't know who those people are, right? So a person comes onto your email list, you start emailing them, but then you should also find them on Facebook. Be like, yo, how's it going? Have a conversation. Why? Because then they're going to remember who you are. So the next time you send out an email, they might actually open it and read it, right? So you don't need a lot of leads to be successful. You just need to become real to people and reach out to them. Yeah. And obviously you need some type of a method to generate leads that works, that isn't too difficult, because you don't want to be hustling every day just to get 1 or 2 leads. You want some leads coming in, but that's a topic for another video. Maybe I'll talk about that later. So anyway, guys, hope that makes sense. If you want all my tips and tricks for lead generation and closing sales on Facebook, join the free group. There's a link underneath. If you're not subscribed to the channel but you liked this video, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon to receive notifications. And of course, let me know what you thought of the video in the comments. I'd be happy to hear from you. So hope that makes sense, guys, and we'll talk soon on the next one. Have a good day. Bye.